Some commentators make the following argument regarding John Ramsey and the discovery of JonBenet's body. Most parents who murder their own children set it up so the body is discovered by another person. John Ramsey did not set it up so the body was discovered by another person. Therefore, John's discovery of the body is a point against his guilt. Those who argue this are begging the following question. Did John Ramsey set it up so another person would find JonBenet? An honest summary of the morning in question will provide a clear answer. The first person to search the basement was Officer French. Officer French is now notorious for searching the basement but failing to open the door to the room that held JonBenet's body. Officer French attempted to open this wine cellar door but found it locked. The next person to search the basement was Fleet White, not too long after Officer French's search. Fleet White claims that he actually opened the wine cellar room that JonBenet's body was later found. White claims he did not turn on the light because he could not find the switch. According to Detective Arndt, at around 10:30 a.m. John was missing for around an hour. This is very important. John would later say that he was alone in the basement searching for anything out of place. It stands to reason that if John was guilty, he allowed at least 2 people to potentially find his daughter's body in the basement. To True Crime Oracle, if an innocent John Ramsey truly searched his own basement at 10:30 a.m., he would have found JonBenet's body. It is that simple. I will say it again. If an innocent John Ramsey truly searched his own basement at 10:30 a.m., he would have found JonBenet. Even Detective Steve Thomas, who doubts John was involved in the murder, believes that John Ramsey must have discovered JonBenet's body when he searched the basement at 10:30 a.m. So, returning to the original question. Did John Ramsey set it up so another person would find JonBenet? According to the timeline, 2 points are clear. First, John Ramsey allowed at least 2 people to search the basement before he did. It would stand to reason that if John was guilty, he intended on those 2 people who searched the basement before him to find the body. Second, when John Ramsey searched the basement by himself, he claims to have found nothing. This is very hard to believe. But it makes sense if you understand John's intentions. We at True Crime Oracle believe that John Ramsey had a clear intention regarding the discovery of JonBenet's body. Ideally, John Ramsey wanted to discover the body in the presence of another person. John wanted to have his reaction to discovering the body on record. Another person discovering the body was not ideal, but acceptable. A guilty John understood that under no circumstance could he emerge from the basement completely by himself with JonBenet's body. The optics would have been far too suspicious. John probably chose the wine cellar for a reason. The wine cellar had a distinctive lock on the outside of the door. This picture shows the position of the lock on the top of the door. The locked room also had a light switch in an odd position, apparently hard for someone who is not familiar with its location to find. The light switch was the reason Fleet White was unable to discover JonBenet. The peculiar door lock and light switch represented 2 obstacles. In this case, obstacles to being able to discover JonBenet's body. John chose the wine cellar room because he knew he would most likely be required to either unlock the door or turn on the light. This would allow John to discover the body in the presence of another person. John predicted that Officer French would do one of two things during his search: unlock the door and discover JonBenet's body, or, after failing to open the door for whatever reason, Officer French would ask John to open the wine cellar door in his presence. John did not predict that there was a third possibility. Officer French later testified that he stood in front of the door after finding it locked. So when Officer French and Fleet White returned from the basement empty-handed, John must have been absolutely flabbergasted. So let's amend the false premise from the beginning of the video. Ironically, those who posed the argument with the intent of casting doubt on John Ramsey's guilt have inadvertently done one thing. They have added to the pile of circumstantial evidence supporting John Ramsey's guilt.